Have you ever wondered where the stories you listened to as a child originated?
Have you ever wondered where such complex and tricky narratives have come from?
Have you ever thought that some of your stories might be connected to something much older?
Gilgamesh and his quest for immortality.
Hercules, the very first Superman.
The story of Momotora, the boy who was born from a peach.
The four treasures of the Tuatha De Danann.
History and folklore, they tend to go hand in hand. From the bright, hopeful beach that signifies new hope, new places to find, new stories to tell, we enter the dark forest. Old stories, dark stories, filled with terror. The thing about folklore is that it endures for years. Stories that are over thousands of years old still exist in the mind today. We tend to retell these stories from a more modern lens. From here, many stories that we now know today, Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, even the stories of adventurers braving through tangled briars and often unreachable places. All this just lends to the story. These stories also help to provide the basis for what we now know as fantasy. Most of our history seems to derive from oral history much before it ever comes to writing. Folklore traditionally has been passed down through history. It's usually something that is always passed down from elders, and it is passed on to the generations that come next. The imagination, the finding, the adventure, all sorts of fun stuff. That's what we'll be talking about, hopefully. Discussing how all the stories from yore turn into what we now today discover as fantasy.
So join us as we take you on a journey through history and time, as we talk about not just the stories of decades and centuries past, but how they have impacted the fantasy genre today.
I'm Matt from All Things Fantasy.
And I am John, your resident historian. And this is Folklore to Fiction, the road to the modern genre.